Hello, viewers of the Spell, and welcome to the Spell Re. Today, we are going to be doing another part of What If Midoriya Was a Jedi? As a little bit of a announcement, I am actually going to be doing this in a season format. I'll put out like seven parts to a What If, and then I'll see how it does. If it doesn't do that well, I'll cancel, and if not, I'll keep going. So, without further ado, let's begin this What If. Midoriya would be meditating, trying to perceive the Force. After all, he thought he had felt a disturbance, but he sensed nothing. As he would get dressed for UA and head out, he would meet Uraraka and Ida on his way to school, and they would arrive. As this would be the first day of the hero training, or combat training. As school would begin, Izalma would explain what they would be doing, as Alma would come in saying, "I come into a room like a normal person." Everyone thinking, yeah, that isn't normal. As All Might would hit a button and suitcases would come out containing everyone's hero gear. As they would go to the changing rooms and put it on, everyone would come out and most everyone would be complimenting them. Uraraka would be a little embarrassed about her not being specific enough, as Midoriya would compliment her. Midoriya's costume would be a little different. He would actually use his rebreather, and the headpiece would be completely ignored. Other than that, it would still be a dark green costume with a utility belt, including a place for his lightsaber. Other than that, yeah, I wouldn't really incorporate anything from the Jedi robe, as Uraraka would compliment him. As All Might would explain the exercise, you would have two teams, a hero and villain team. The villains won by protecting a bomb for a set period of time or capturing the heroes. Likewise, the heroes could either win by securing all the villains or securing the bomb, as everyone would be drawing lots. Midoriya and Uraraka would get in one team, and Ida and Bakugo would, as Midoriya realized that he would be fighting Ida and Bakugo, and they would be first up. As he sighed, "At least this will be over quickly." As All Might would ask Midoriya if that lightsaber could not cut through things, as Midoriya just said, "Oh yeah, I already modified this so it has a setting that'll just zap someone. It's not a true stun, but all it will do is basically give them a jolt of electricity." As All Might nodded. As Bakugo and Ida would go in, followed 5 minutes later by Uraraka and Midoriya. Bakugo would have a very different disposition, as he just told, but the plan would say the same. He just told Ida to guard the bomb and that he will go handle the heroes. Ida quickly saying that they should strategize more, as Bakugo just walked away. As Midoriya would finish explaining the plan, Bakugo would come around the side as Midoriya managed to block and push Uraraka out of the way. Midoriya said, "Now," and Uraraka ran past Bakugo. As Midoriya lit up his lightsaber, Bakugo would say, "I have a lot of questions for you, Midoriya, and I think now might be a good time for me to get some answers." As we flash to Uraraka, looking for the bomb, as she found it and saw Ida preparing, chuckling to herself. As Ida heard this. As we flash back to Bakugo and Midoriya, they would begin their battle. As a green lightsaber clashed with Bakugo's gauntlets, explosions would go off, and they would be going all at it. Bakugo would be yelling, "So, I could tell you had just awakened at 10 months. As Midoriya said, "It was more complicated than that." As Bakugo just said, "How does it get more complicated? Do you think I'm dumb?" As Bakugo would send a kick, Midoriya would block, use his lightsaber as it would hit Bakugo's side. Bakugo would grunt as he felt a jolt of electricity. Bakugo would let out an explosion and say, "Do you think you're better than me?" Midoriya would counter with a upward slash of the lightsaber that made Bakugo jump back. As he responded verbally with, "Why do you think I think that? And besides, you were the one who started bullying me," as he would swing his lightsaber back. As everyone in the control room would be thinking, man, they're getting through some personal issues, aren't they? As Bakugo would say, "If you had told me, I wouldn't have bullied you. And besides, why didn't you ever fight back? All you were being was weak. After all, how would someone without any form of power become a hero? Since coming to the school, I've been able to tell I'm not the top dog. But what do you think would have happened if someone without a quirk would try to fight someone like me? Seriously, they would probably be killed." As Bakugo managed to slam Midoriya back with 2 explosions. As Midoriya just said, "The ways of the Jedi are patience, and I just waited." Bakugo would say, "What does that even mean?" As Bakugo just said, "I'm gonna end this." As he brought up his gauntlet and said, "These gauntlets contain my sweat. They charge up, and when I pull the pin." As Midoriya put 2 and 2 together and realized, crap. As he used lightsaber, switching it to its normal lethal mode and slice through the floor, Bakugo would let out a massive explosion. All Might immediately telling him not to use that again, or he will fail him. As everyone was wondering where Midoriya was, as from behind Bakugo, someone said, "Lightning Judgment." As lightning hit Bakugo, Bakugo yelled out. As Midoriya would jump forward, Bakugo would be off balance as Midoriya would just use a force push and slam him into a wall. Bakugo would hit his head and be knocked out. A second later, the hero team would be declared the winners. As Bakugo would humph off after school. But the rest of the matches would go the same as canon. As a few days later, they'd come into classes. Aizawa would tell them that they're going to be doing rescue training. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Hope you do like, share, and subscribe. And like I said before, I am trying to get through the first bit because I have a lot more planned. And, well, a couple of my My Hero Academia what-ifs kind of peter out before they even get to this point, or some of the stuff I thought of for later down the road. So, trying to get to what I think is the best stuff.